This is dogs of the past. Protection extended far beyond formal battlefields. Along volatile frontier zones, especially near the Tibetan Plateau and northern steppe regions, massive guardian dogs were used to protect livestock from wolves and snow leopards, guard Silk Road caravans against raiders, and secure remote watchtowers and fortified settlements. Trade routes carried silk, jade, and precious goods across vast distances. A caravan without protection was vulnerable. A powerful guardian dog added deterrence in a way that required no constant human vigilance. In agricultural heartlands, these dogs likely guarded granaries and family compounds. Grain was wealth. Wealth attracted thieves. A physically imposing dog stationed at a gate was both warning and weapon. In this way, guardian dogs formed a layered system of protection across society, from imperial estates to rural farms to military borders. Over centuries, these guardian lineages became especially associated with the ancestors of the Tibetan Mastiff. Historically tied to Himalayan and Western Chinese regions, this powerful breed reflects many traits consistent with ancient guardian roles: independence, territorial instinct, thick protective coat, and formidable presence. By the 13th century, their reputation had reached Europe, where Marco Polo described Tibetan dogs as big as donkeys. The description was almost certainly exaggerated, but exaggeration reveals impact. These were dogs that impressed seasoned travelers. Genetic research suggests East Asia was one of the major centers of early dog domestication, and mastiff-type dogs from this region likely contributed to broader Eurasian livestock guardian and mastiff lines. Through trade routes and regional exchange, powerful guardian dogs from Central and East Asia influenced landrace guardians across the Silk Road network. While not a single origin point for all mastiffs, ancient Chinese and Tibetan guardian types were part of a wider web that shaped the development of large protective breeds seen across Eurasia today. Separate from guarding roles, hunting dogs also played a significant part in ancient Chinese society. Hunting was not merely recreation, it was preparation for war and demonstration of elite status. Large organized hunts trained nobles and soldiers in coordination, endurance, and tactical movement. Strong, courageous dogs were used to track, pursue, and hold dangerous game such as wild boar and deer. A boar hunt required bravery and control. The dog had to engage decisively while responding to human command. These hunts cultivated traits valuable in both military and protective contexts: stamina, alertness, and controlled aggression. Unlike the mastiff-type guardians, which emphasized territorial defense and deterrence, hunting dogs emphasized pursuit, tracking, and teamwork. Both roles required strength and intelligence, but they served different strategic functions within society. One protected fixed territory, the other operated dynamically across landscape. Over time, working roles gave rise to something deeper. Dogs in Chinese culture were increasingly portrayed as symbols of loyalty and righteousness. Confucian ideals emphasized faithfulness to one's master and moral duty, and dogs became living metaphors for those virtues. This cultural elevation is captured in the story of Heilong, Black Dragon, recorded in the 4th century text Shiji. In the tale, Heilong demonstrates extraordinary loyalty to his master, remaining steadfast in the face of danger. After his death, his devotion is honored with a proper burial mound, and he is remembered as a righteous dog. Whether embellished through retelling or grounded in a real event, the story reflects how deeply loyalty was valued. A dog's faithfulness was not dismissed as instinct, it was celebrated as virtue. In ancient China, then, large mastiff-type guardians were not merely animals at the edge of campfires. They guarded estates, protected trade, defended livestock, and stood watch over both the living and the dead. Hunting dogs trained alongside elites, reinforcing martial culture. And in legend, a loyal dog could rise to moral exemplar. Long before modern breed standards, kennel clubs, or official classifications, these dogs were already shaping security, culture, and symbolism. Civilizations are remembered for emperors and armies, but sometimes they were protected by teeth in the dark and loyalty that outlived death. Before gunpowder, before cannons lined fortress walls, before watchtowers stretched across mountain ridges, there were dogs, not ornamental companions or palace lapdogs, but thick-necked, heavy-boned guardians bred for strength, intimidation, and unwavering loyalty. In ancient China, from the Zhou dynasty through the Han dynasty, roughly 1046 BCE to 220 CE, protection was not optional. It was survival. This was a world of rival states, border conflicts, nomadic incursions, banditry, and dangerous wildlife. Grain stores had to be defended. Caravans had to be protected. Estates had to be secured through the night. And in that world, large mastiff-type dogs played a serious and practical role. Archaeology gives us our first strong visual evidence. Excavations of Han Dynasty tombs have uncovered pottery and stone figures of powerful, broad-headed dogs placed at the entrances of burial chambers. These were not decorative pets. They are positioned deliberately, guarding thresholds, symbolizing vigilance and protection. Even in death, the elite of ancient China chose to be defended. The message is clear. These dogs represented security, strength, and watchfulness. Historical texts, such as the Shiji and the Book of Han, mention powerful dogs from frontier regions being presented as tribute to the imperial court. A tribute animal was not ordinary. It signified prestige and rarity. Large guardian dogs from borderlands, particularly western and northern regions, were valued both for their protective ability and their symbolic power. Owning such dogs communicated authority. Although Chinese military records focus more heavily on strategy and generals than on animals, it is reasonable, based on cross-reference sources and practical necessity, to understand that large guardian dogs likely served in military encampments as sentries and perimeter guards. In an age before modern alarm systems, a vigilant dog provided early warning. A bark in the night could prevent a raid. A territorial animal could deter intrusion without a single sword being drawn. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe and suggest any ideas for future videos on your favorite dogs. See you soon!